Yo, what's going on YouTube? How you guys doing? So we are back with another gameplay review video. This time we are reviewing a Ghostface who is playing at rank 1. We got the whole pre-lobby thing going on here. We can't quite see all of his perks, but we see like the build he's running regardless. He never actually clicks into his perks for us to like critique his perk selection out of the ones he has available, but regardless, I think his build is pretty solid anyway. And before I jump into like actually talking about the game or really critiquing anything, I want to read the message that was left for this. They left this YouTube video and they said, "This match honestly felt impossible and the corrupt gen spawns were a big oof. I felt like I played it fairly well, but they were just always 5 steps ahead." So that's essentially where we're at with this. I don't know, man. Let's check it out. So like your build already is pretty solid. Also, I like how this guy has the exact same name as you. Ghosty and Ghosty. Yep. 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 it's a Ghosty v Ghosty, boys. Let's go. You got Gas Heaven. I want to say that your build is pretty solid. You're not running any add-ons, which I don't really, contrary to popular belief, I don't really think Ghostface needs add-ons. Like, I feel like his add-ons are solid, but I hear a lot of people say that he's add-on reliant, which I think is absurd. All right, wow, you already found somebody. I'm just gonna talk about your build real quick. This is a great build on Ghostface. Just for the sake of anybody watching, Sloppy Butcher is probably the best perk on Ghostface. I consider Sloppy Butcher on Ghostface to be like, you know how like there's certain killers that have like the perk that you're crazy to not run, right? Like if you're playing Oni, you need Infectious Fright, right? If you're playing Ghostface, I think you need this. You need Sloppy Butcher. Like if you're not running Sloppy Butcher on Ghostface, then you're just crazy. I think it's such a good perk. I think it complements his playstyle so perfect, regardless of whatever playstyle you're even going for. Like it literally doesn't even matter the playstyle. I think it just complements his stealth power so well that you're crazy to not run it. And you're running Nurse's Calling with it, so Sloppy makes it so they take longer to heal. Nurse's Calling makes it so you can see them healing. That combined with your ability to put stealth on, that arrow is supposed to be pointing there. That with the combo with the ability to become undetectable makes it so you can sneak up on people that are healing, which means they're one shot, so you can sneak up and one shot them, which is great. Barbecue and Chili is great because you get blood points. Corrupt Intervention is great because they, you know, lose out on some gens that they can do early game. Overall, just great build. I have no complaints. This is a fantastic build. You do only have a couple slash. Yeah, it's okay. You actually have 2 slow down. It's fine. But anyway, let's go ahead. You spawn up and you see this guy right away. I don't even know how the hell you saw this guy right away. Let me like back up. Did you like hear him? How'd you even know he was there? I don't even know. But you find a Lisa, I believe. I believe that's a Lisa skin. And you got it to 99% stock, which is good. I like that you're actually utilizing the stock on Ghostface. I feel like not enough people do that these days. You kind of lose track. Oh, you find her. You tap her up the one shot, and now you're gonna chase her down. Let's see if you can get this hit. This is kind of sketchy because she has every single pallet. No pallet has been used. This map is fresh. It is perfectly fresh and new, and she's at a jungle gym. Well, we'll see. Yep, she used the pallet already just to play safe. You might want to just delete that. Yeah, like you're playing on very precious time here before her thing runs out. I think you're gonna lose track of her too. She might be in the, I think she was just right there at the corner. Yeah, she was right there at the corner. I think you maybe could have hit her right there. Was I seeing things or was she literally right there? Hold on. Let me second. Yeah, she was literally right there. Yeah, you like probably could have hit her. Okay. Hypothetically, even if you think she's in the locker here, I don't think you should check the locker. I think you should walk by the locker first. Because, like, worst case scenario, either A, she has head on, which if she has head on, you're getting head on stunned anyway. Like you're not going to be able to, I don't know if you know this, but like if you walk up and hit spacebar, unless like the survivor is like brain dead reaction speed, like unless they're 50 years old like myself, then they're gonna jump out before you can check it and you're gonna get head on stun. So you should pretty much always walk by first, and then if you can't find them, then check the locker. Like right here, she's like literally exposed. Like you could have one shot down her. So this was kind of a fuck up. You did that, and then she vaults the pallet, and I'm gonna assume that you don't get the hit here. She has a really strong window that she's about to vault, and now she's gonna run away, and I don't think you're gonna get the hit from that stock, which is really bad. That's really bad. That was overall really bad. I just want to, okay, just to give some more thoughts on this, like right off the bat, this is a really bad start. Like the fact that you had a chance to one shot down this bitch and it didn't happen is already really rough. I don't like, I'm kind of torn on this. I don't blame you here. Like, okay, you chase her and she runs to this jungle gym, right? And she throws this pallet. Now, this pallet is like one of the safest pallets in the game. Like, this is one of the safest palettes in the game. It's more of a matter of like, does she know how to play it, right? And I'm kind of torn here because you haven't actually chased this person yet, so you don't really know how good or bad they are. So part of me like part of me feels like it's okay to like, you know, play around a little bit just to see if you can get a hit, but also part of me feels like you're on precious time, dude. Like, you have like, I don't know, like 30 more seconds or 20 more seconds or something. Like, you're like there's a countdown that you have to get a hit on this guy, and if you don't get it in time, then it's a waste of time. And on top of that, you're currently in the corner of the map. So like, to try to explain this, like, say this is gas heaven, right? You are currently right here, right? She just threw a pallet, she's out here, and you're right here. So like, if you kick this pallet, she doesn't really like, she can't run that way, right? She has to go this way or this way, and like she's like, she's not gonna have very many options. Like, over here there's not a lot, over there's not a lot. I think you could have got away with kicking this pallet and then getting a hit afterwards. Like, I think that might have been the better play. Even on top of that, I still think like the locker play was a bit of a fuck up here too, but I feel like that should have been just like a kick a pallet and move on situation. I think you messing around all this time like you are just gave her so much time, and then you ended up kicking, and then on top of that, you ended up kicking the pallet from the outside in, which is also a really big thing. I talk about this a lot in like a lot of my more like advanced killer tutorials I make, where like, say you're at a pallet, like, again, say you're like at the corner of a map, right? And there's like a pallet here, and there's like a survivor. Say like this is the survivor. We'll say blue is survivor, and like yellow is the killer. Okay. As the killer, you can dictate which side that you're on whenever you kick it, right? Like, if you kick it on this side, then that forces the survivor to be here, and then she has like less distance to get away, right? Because again, she can't run that way. She cannot run that way. It's not possible for her to run that way. So like, by you being on the other side, it kind of forces her to like lose a big head start that she would normally get. But what happened here instead is you ran around to this side, which caused her to like vault the pallet and then be on this side, right? So now like the new setup was something like this, where you were on this side and she was on this side, right? You kick the pallet, and then while you're kicking the pallet, she's just like gone, right? Like, she doesn't have to like go any, like, she just runs directly away from you. Like, you just completely lose a bunch of distance. And that's kind of what happens here. Like, you had a chance to kick the pallet on the good side, like right off the bat, but instead you play around a little bit, you waste a little bit of time, and then you end up kicking the pallet on the bad side, and then she is just light years away. Like, she is so far away. You end up finding her again, but by the time you get to her, she's at shack. Oh, there's a good little double back there. You got a hit on her though. That's nice. She does seem to be pretty okay at the game. You're gonna pop your stealth and bail, which is not a bad choice. Like, that Lisa is pretty okay. She's probably gonna be pretty difficult to catch. So this isn't a terrible decision to make. Although this is really risky, because if you don't find somebody quickly, then you're kind of just wasting time. You know, the whole like hit and run strat is nice, but it's very risky. Nobody there. See, like, you're wasting so much time now. This is why the hit and run strat is like, I don't know, it's very, very risky to do. They vault the window in front of you, you kick this wall, because like this whole time you could have been chasing the Lisa and possibly downing her, but instead you're just like looking for people. I like that you fuck around and have a little bit of fun though. I dig this. I enjoy this. I'm enjoying the slight memes here. All right, and then you find this Claudette. That was a good little duck. I feel like not enough people do this. Not enough people take advantage of Ghostface's ability to duck mid chase. Like, that little duck you did might have been what got you that hit, because she might have just lost track of you. I don't blame you for missing that, because I couldn't even really see her anyway. She was kind of blending in with like the loop, but you end up getting down anyway. You played this pallet perfectly. Like, this was phenomenal. Just to back up, I mean, I'm not just gonna talk about the negative stuff. I'll cover the positive stuff too. Like, right here, like, you coming over, like, you doing that little duck, I think was enough for her to like not see you. Like, I think the generator and all this stuff over here kind of like covered you for a bit, and she was like, wait, where are you? Again, if you're a Ghostface player, do this kind of stuff. Try stuff like this, man. So many Ghostface players just never use the crouch ever. And it's so weird, because crouching mid chase, especially like around loops like this, can catch survivors off guard and catch them in bad positions so much. Like, I'm pretty sure that literally just got you this hit for free. You would have never got that hit, I think, if you had you not crouched. So it's a fucking great play. On top of that, this pallet is not extremely safe, so this is good. I always talk about this. It's good to test the survivors that you're playing against to see how good or bad they are. Like this Claudette, basically, you can now know that this Claudette is not that great at looping. So if you ever come to a pallet that is like, you know, this level of strength, you know that you don't have to kick it. You know, like maybe that Lisa you chased earlier, maybe you'd have to kick it against her. Maybe. I haven't really seen enough from her yet, but maybe. But like that Cher or that Claudette, no. And then they pop a bunch of gens, and this is like, that's really unfortunate that all those gens got done. I think that's a product of you dropping that chase earlier and taking so long to get it down. I mean, that was your first down, right? That was your first down. Let's see, like your first hook comes at what? Like this basically just happened. 3:15. And like, when did this match start? 3:15, and the match started at like 22. So yeah, that's essentially a 3-minute down. That's like essentially 3 minutes before you actually got a down. That's gonna, I'm gonna tell you right now, that's why you lost this game. I'm gonna already throw that out there. At this point, like, to come back, it's still possible to win, but you need to like kind of get lucky, and basically you need the survivors to slip up and make a bit of a mistakes. And then you just snowball really hard. Like you like that's the only way you can win now. With one hook and 3 gens done in 3 minutes, you basically need to snowball like mega hard. You see scratch marks and blood, but then you kind of lose track of him. He definitely went around the right side. Even Matt was kind of like, oh man, it's rough. Like, it doesn't seem like much, but again, like, it's still a waste of time. Like, you have not accomplished anything in the past like 30 seconds, which again might not seem like much, but 30 seconds. If a bunch of people are doing gens, that's a lot of gen progress. Like 30 seconds is enough for 2 people to almost finish a gen. This dude throws Shack pallet. You're tracking? Like, did you not see where he went, or are you looking away on purpose? I can't tell if you're like not chasing these guys on purpose, or like what you're doing. Like right here, you like kind of eye up the basement because it seems like you maybe think you went down there. And there's like blood on the ground, and it clearly goes to the right. Like you can even kind of see scratch marks here. Like you can kind of see, oh wait, I'm still on blue. Oops. You can kind of see scratch marks there. So like they definitely went to the right, but you like come out looking at the left, and then you don't even, and then like once you look this way and like there's no scratch marks, right? Like there's nothing here. It's empty. Once you see there's no scratch marks, you don't even turn around. You're just like, oh yeah, whatever. That's fine. I totally meant to do this, you know? I don't know. Like I can't tell if that's what's going on or not. And even here, like, why? I don't really like get what you're trying to do. Like even right there, like why did you dip into that jungle gym? You saw a guy running away. Like did you think there was someone else there? Like you're kind of just wasting a lot of time just kind of wandering, you know? Like you're literally just wandering. Even like right there, like there was a Claudette right there. Like did you just think she had sprint burst? I don't understand. I mean, I guess she might have. Even here, like if I was you, I would at least just like take a couple steps at this Claudette. Like her right here, I would take a couple steps and be like, oh, say something, bitch, you know? And then she'll get all scared and then sprint burst away, just to like get her sprint burst out of the way. But again, like I again feel the need to point out that you have not done anything in the past minute and a half-ish. Like since you got that last hook, you have done nothing. You've kind of just wandered around. You like started to chase a guy at one point and then stopped. You hit her with the exact same mind game that you got her with earlier. Literally the exact same mind game that worked on her before. It just worked again. But again, you bail from this chase too. I'm not really sure what you're doing. I guess you're trying to do the hit and run strat. I guess that's really the only explanation, is you're trying to do hit and run. They heal up like instant, dude. That Lisa keeps healing up like instantly, dude. I think she has. Did she have a med kit? I wasn't really paying attention. She must have a med kit because she is healing up so fast. Especially considering you have Sloppy Butcher. Every time you hit her and you leave her alone, she heals up like immediately. Which new med kits are really rough for the new for hit and run strat. You stalk that guy through the little hole in the wall, which is nice. And now you're chasing him. It's the same Lisa again. She doesn't even have a med kit. How the hell is she healing so fast? I don't like kicking the gen there. Like, why? It's barely even worked on. It's literally barely even touched. And like, you kind of got lucky that Lisa didn't run away and she instead tried to lift the pallet. But even then, like, you don't chase her anyway. I don't know. Like, you're not downing anyone. You're not chasing anyone. You're not really doing anything. You're kind of just wandering around and harassing people here and there and then walking away. It's really all that's happening. There's nothing really nothing is stopping these guys from doing gens at all. Like, you're just walking up, you're hitting them, and then you're walking away, and then they're healing. And then you rinse and repeat. Oh, just the fuck was this guy doing? What was this guy doing? Hello? All right. Well, you got a pretty free down on this guy. If you see this guy again, you should definitely chase him. This is what we like to call in the killer industry. This is what we like to call a free hook. Free mat pressure is what we call that in the biz, I believe. So if you ever see that guy again, I would definitely chase him. Pop your stealth again. She was here working on it. She definitely went around the back. Again, I feel like this is like, I feel like maybe it's like tracking or instinct. I'm not really sure exactly what to call this. But like when you turn this corner and you see these scratch marks, it's very clear that she was on this generator, right? So because these scratch marks are here, it's very clear that she went this way, right? Like if she ran the way that you thought she ran, there wouldn't be scratch marks here. The scratch marks would be like over here. So like, you know she was on the gen. So because the scratch marks are there, you can assume she went that way. But like instead you assume she went this way? Like, there's no scratch marks in the ground. I don't know why you like thought. Maybe you just wanted to like make sure she wasn't going for the unhook. And like, again, I know it sounds like I'm nitpicking because I know he took like 3 steps to the side, but again, that 3 steps to the side gives this survivor, like, I'm not even joking, it gives her like 8 seconds in a chase. Like that little bit of distance you lose, if she holds W in a straight line and you're hold Wing after her, it takes like 8 seconds to make up that distance that you lose by doing that. Luckily, again, she is not running away straight. Luckily, she stopped and you got to stalk her. They are doing that gen behind you though. Like that gen was pretty much done behind you. I guess you're just gonna let it get done. I guess you just gave up on it now, which is weird. This is like the one time where I feel like you should be getting off the chase, and then they do pop it, and she has adrenaline, so that's not good too. Oof, yeah, this match went real bad. This went real bad. She gets the pallet stun on you. You can try to get a hit here. You can like you can crouch and moonwalk it. You didn't really do any mind games. You kind of just hold W, then she vaults, and then she's gonna get away too now without getting down from exposed. Man, this is just, there's so much went wrong. So much went wrong here, man. They're gonna open this gate. Oh wow, he actually canceled it. He probably could have just opened it. He dead hards. He hit it down. Yeah, I mean, this is probably gonna end with what? Well, we already know it ends with a 1K because it gets spoiled up here, but it's gonna end with a 1K, and I can definitely see how. I imagine it's probably you're probably just gonna trade 1-for-1 with people. I'm surprised there's so much game time left. Like, what happens at this point? I'm guessing you just 1-for-1 trade until like people get out, but we'll see. Oh, nice, good peek, good peek, good peek. Get the stock corner, good. You can chase her. She, if your teammates are smart, she might get body blocked before she gets to the exit gate. I'm not sure though. Like, if there's no teammates around, you can catch her before she gets there. Whoa, okay. Oh man, I'm telling you, this Claudette and that who was the other character? The Cheryl, I think it was a Cheryl, or was it a Nancy? The Claudette and then either the Cheryl or the Nancy or whoever it was were like free downs this game, dude. These guys were like free downs. These guys were like literally mat pressure, just waiting to be taken advantage of, like straight up. And it's kind of a shame that you never got a chance to actually take advantage of it. Even this Adam too. This Adam seemed like he was making some pretty questionable plays too. It feels like just the Lisa was the only one. Oh, it was a Zarina. I was so wrong. It was neither a Cheryl or a, I'm dumb. Ignore me. Wait, this could have hypothetically turned into so much more. How did that? I'm confused on how that even hit that guy. Did he dead hard? He must have dead hearted at like the perfect moment. You downed them both though. This guy, dude, that guy's self-carrying. Go get him. That guy's self-carrying. But the guy was self-carrying. Oh, why'd you not get the guy that was self-carrying? That's the whole point of the build. Why are you chasing this guy around Shack instead? I mean, that was a pretty good little vault mine game you did there. I'm gonna be honest. It definitely caught this guy off guard. It's definitely enough to get a hit on this dude. All right. You let these guys recover a fuck ton though. This guy came in for the heal. Wow. These guys are literally trying to die. This guy's got dead hards, so be careful. Okay, we get the other guy. I would pick up that dude. He might have decisive strike, but like, he's fully recovered as well. So I would pick him up just to see if you can. The Lisa healed again. She must have some kind of like a self-care build or something, because she's been healing like pretty fast every single time you leave her alone. All right, you get this guy. He might have self-care. He might have DS. Nope. It might have been 60 seconds anyway. Kind of smart of you to hook him here, because it's faster than carrying him to the basement. So that means you can get to the other guy quicker. So it's pretty smart of you to do. You should have just hit her. You should have just hit her. You're probably gonna end up regretting that. She's gonna end up body blocking now. You're definitely gonna regret that. Yep, I knew it. I knew you were gonna regret the second I saw you do it. I was like, yeah, you're definitely gonna regret that. Yeah. All right. Like right there at the end, like just to like say why this is a thing. Like, even if the other survivor was coming out right behind her, the door is far enough away that you could have hit her and then still got the follow-up hit on the way out, right? On top of that, she's not following her out. Like, she's running the other way. So like you could have hit this Lisa. Wait, she has a med kit now. Has she always had that med kit? Anyway, sorry, I'm fucking losing my mind. You could have hit this Lisa and then you still could have like followed up on the hit on this guy, like no matter which direction you went. The fact that you left him alone just set this up for an easy body block play. Like that was just like an obvious play. And then yeah, and then she does it and then you lose, which is a bummer. So there's a lot to say about this. Let me just watch it through the end. Yeah, we'll see what the builds are like. Yeah, I mean a bunch of DSs, pretty meta. Oh, the zoom. I mean, like pretty meta builds. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of hard to see what perks they have. With your perk icons are hard to see, man. Like that's We're Gonna Live Forever, I think. Right? Is that no? That's Dead Hard. What even is that? I can't even tell. It's hard to see what the hell these perks even are, to be honest with you. Like any means necessary. Yeah, that's definitely Dead Hard because this guy had Dead Hard. I remember. Wait. Or no, this guy had Dead Hard. This guy had Dead Hard, I remember. So yeah, that's definitely Dead Hard. That's fucking confusing though. That's hard to see. I don't like listen, I'm all about the custom icons, but I don't even know how you can see what the hell people are running. I love how you guys gonna have a moment in the post-game chat because you guys are both named Ghosty? Is that what this is? Is that what this is? A fellow man of culture. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Oh, look at that. Wholesomeness. Wholesomeness in the post-game chat. You'll love to see it. So as far as like actually talking about what went wrong here, it's hard to like, I feel like honestly, like it's weird because I feel like you play the, okay, for your actual like gameplay in game and like what you do, like, okay, I think your decision making is bad. Like the way, like what you actually do in game is good. Like it seems like you're good in chase. Like there's lots of instances of you playing chases really well and like making good plays. Like at the pout loop earlier against the, oh man, when even was that? The like, wait, no, that was like the first hook you got. The like pout loop here against this Claudette, like you play this really well. Like you play this super well. And I'm like, oh wow, that's impressive. You actually know how to play Ghostface decently well. Like good mind games and, you know, and then you do the same thing at Shaq. Like you get multiple hits at Shaq that are like pretty decent, right? Like you at least are like attempting mind games and stuff. Like there's definitely some places where I feel like you could have attempted mind games more. Like when you had the dudes stalked at the very end and then you were like chasing her, like right here, you definitely could have attempted a mind game. Like you definitely could have attempted a like a moonwalk of some kind here, you know, like some kind of like okay, you attempt one there, but here is where you can do it because she's like right there, right? And she doesn't really have much vision. She can see like slightly over the hood of this car, and that's really it. So you can kind of like you can crouch and then face the other direction. And like crouch moonwalk and then like uncrouch and turn around and then hit her. And I bet you it would have worked. Like I bet you it would have worked. I mean, hell, you could have maybe just hit her just by lunging there, honestly. She took forever to vault. But either way, like you could have attempted a mind game there and you didn't. So I'm not gonna say that your chase is perfect. I think your chase could be a little bit better, but it seems like you at least vaguely know what you're doing as far as chasing survivors, which I will say is the hardest part. That's the hardest part of Killer. So you already are like, it seems like you're already decent at the part that's the hardest. So touche on that. I will say that I think, let me just, wait, did this Cheryl or did this Lisa have a med kit the whole time? Or like, am I crazy? She had one at the end. I don't think she had one the whole time, right? Right? Now I'm like second guessing everything that like I knew about the world. You know what I mean? Yeah, there's no medkit on her. Yeah, she okay, so she definitely found that medkit at the end. Right? Yeah, she's okay, yeah, she has nothing. Okay, so I think the big mistake here is your like game plan going into it. It feels like you have this game plan of doing this like hit and run strat with like these perks. Well, I guess these perks is your idea. I know that like True Talent made a video a long time ago where he popularized this like hit and run build that he was doing with like Ghostface and like Wraith, where he was running Sloppy, Nurse's Calling, and Thanatophobia, as well as like, I mean, I think back then was when it was like Old Hex Ruin, and he ran Old Hex Ruin too. And I feel like ever since he made those videos, I've been seeing a lot of people trying to do that playstyle. And don't get me wrong, the playstyle can work, but I will say that it was definitely like those videos that he made were on a different patch too. Like those were pre-buffed medkits. Those were back when medkits were much worse than they are now. Those were also back when Thanatophobia used to affect healing, which it doesn't anymore. I mean, you're not even running Thanatophobia anyway, which I think is kind of odd, because in a build like this, I feel like you would want Thanat. And on top of that, Hex Ruin also used to be crazy strong back then, and you don't have that anymore either. So it's kind of, I feel like you're trying to recreate that playstyle, whereas that playstyle doesn't really work most of the time. Like truth be told, the hit and run playstyle is very risky. Medkits super hard counter it. As a matter of fact, any kind of a healing build super hard counters it. Okay, this Ghosty guy, I actually want to see this guy's build, because this dude was healing really fast. He didn't even have anything. How was this guy healing so fast? He must have been just like finding his teammates or something. I genuinely don't even know how this guy was healing so fast. I felt like every time you left this guy after hitting him, he just got healed up like instantly. He must have just been finding his teammates super quickly or something. I don't know. I mean, like, this dude had botany, so maybe he was just like running around and healing people or something. Who knows? But I feel like these guys had 2 med kits, and on top of that, like, even without the med kits, this strat is just risky, because I feel like a big part that fucked you up too is, like I said, you took so long to down people. Like, you get a hit on this guy here, and this is in the very beginning of the game, and then you wander for so long. Like, that was at what, 145? You wander around for so long, dude. Like, you just wander around. You eventually find somebody, but even what, like even by the time you find somebody, it's been so long, and now you gotta chase this guy down who is like full health, right? And it takes you forever to catch him. And it's like, I don't know, man. The idea of just like hitting someone and then just leaving them alone is so risky, dude. It's so risky, because if you can't find another survivor very fast, then you're just giving them free time. Like, that's literally all this was. Like, you just gave them so much free time here. Like, you could have committed to this Lisa and tried to down her, you know, and been pressuring her, but instead you just wander. You just wander. There's nothing stopping the survivors from doing gens right now. All of them are free to do gens. Like, they don't give a fuck. No one, like, they don't have a care in the world. There is a guy here. Wait, was there even a guy here that you chased off? I don't even think there was. Yeah, there's not even a guy there. Like, you're just nothing. Just nothing is stopping survivors from doing gens right now. They're just happily slamming gens with not a care in the world. Nothing to scare them away. Nothing to, no worries, no frets, you know? And then finally you find people. It's just, I just don't think it's a good playstyle, man. I don't think it's a good playstyle. This is like the #1 mistake that I keep seeing on all my gameplay review videos, and I feel like I feel like it might be getting old for people, and I'm sorry if it is, but again, stick to your chases. Get downs. Get your downs. This playstyle might work a little bit better on like an indoor map. I think if you got like an indoor map like the game or Larry's or Hawkins, it might be a little bit more viable to do this, just because I feel like being a stealth killer on those maps makes it a lot easier to find people, and also like sneaking up on people is a lot easier on those maps because there's less line of sight. So you can maybe get away with this playstyle on a map like that, but on an open map like Gas Heaven, man, like it's just not worth the risk. Like there is a chance that everything will go correctly and all the cards will fall into place correctly, and you know, you'll get a bunch of hits on everyone, get everybody injured, and then find them off healing. But against any team of survivors that are even remotely decent, or against any team of survivors that just have medkits, it's just not going to work. Like, you're going to hit someone, you're going to walk away, and then they're going to heal, and then you're going to be right back to square one, which is what kept happening this game. Like, it just kept happening, and you just never really got any pressure. It's like I said, like you literally took 3 minutes to get a hook. I mean, 3 minutes to get a hook, like that's enough to throw the game entirely. And I mean, it pretty much did. Like, you took that long, and then all the gens popped, right? Like, you lost 3 gens just to get your first hook, which took so long. So that's my biggest that's my biggest complaint, is I don't think you should do the hit and run strat. Don't bother with the hit and run strat. It's not nearly as good as it used to be. Like, when True Talent made those videos, it was a different game. It was a different game back then. It was on a different patch. This like play style of build is not good anymore. I'm not gonna say that it'll never work. Everything will work sometimes. Like you can be like, no, but Tofu, I do the hit and run strat and I get 4 kills all the time. I don't care. I don't care. I can go into games perkless and get 4Ks, okay? That's not proof. The point of the matter is that when survivors are either A, running medkits, or B, just playing in a playstyle that is good, this build doesn't work. Whereas playing consistently well as killer and just chasing people down and applying map pressure will always work. That will literally always work. And you just didn't do it this game. You just didn't do it. I would suggest not trying to rely on that playstyle as far as this killer goes. I would rely a lot more on getting downs and applying pressure. Okay. Actually, you know what? I'll say this much. If you still want to try to do this playstyle of hit and run, it's still possible. But I think what you need to do is you need to prioritize getting a down or 2 first and then do it. Like once you get a down or 2 and get some pressure on the map, then you can start like, because here's the thing, like say you're on a map here, I'm gonna do more drawing, right? Like what you're doing is like, say all the survivors are here. Like say there's one survivor here, one survivor here, one survivor here, and one survivor here, right? As a killer, what's happening is you're like hitting this guy, right? You're like, hiya, and you hit this guy, and then he like runs away scared. He's like, oh God, I'm hurt, and then he runs that way. So what you're doing now is you're literally just leaving. You're just like, well, all right, well, my job's done, and then you're just like wandering, like wandering around trying to find people, and then it's not like these guys are just sitting on gens, like they're just chilling, like nothing's stopping them. They're just chilling. But what you could do instead is you could chase that bitch, kill her, right? And then you end up hooking her, right? So then you have a hook survivor here, and she's like, oh, I'm hooked now. And now this whole area of the map basically becomes like, this becomes like a zone of like importance, I guess. I don't really know how to say it. Like this becomes like a very hot spot on the map. Like the survivors need to come here. They need to come here and help this guy. So in doing that, you sometimes, I mean, it's not every game, like sometimes people will just sit on gens, but sometimes you end up getting a ton of hits here because people will come in, they're like, oh shit, we gotta save, let's move in team, let's go, and then you can hit multiple people whenever they get the unhook. You can end up with like 3 or 4 people injured, and then that's when you can start wandering around and trying to get hits when nurse is calling. You know what I mean? Like I think you need to get the initial pressure first. Like you need to get the initial hook, the initial down. You got to get that initial pressure first, and then start to get a lot of hits with sloppy. And then once you have a ton of people injured with sloppy, like once you have like 2 or 3 people injured with sloppy, then you can start wandering around and looking for hits when nurse is calling, because then they're going to be healing around the map, and that's when you pop yourself, walk around, like look for nurses calling. But until you get that initial map pressure, then you're just, all you're doing is you're just giving up chases and not applying any pressure. That's all you're doing. Like you're not really hit and running. You're just kind of like, you're just kind of smacking people and then walking away. Like you're like instead of actually applying pressure, you're more just being a mosquito. Like you're just tapping people here and there, and then walking away, tapping another dude and then walking away, and they're just like, oh man, this fucking Ghostface keeps hitting me and leaving. What a dick, you know? They heal up and get back on gens. Like you're not actually stopping them. Anyway, I think we hit that point in the video where I'm just going to keep going in circles if I keep talking. So I'm just going to end there. I will say that overall, I think the hardest part of the game, I think, is learning how to play chase as well. And I feel like you seem to be like at least moderately good at that. Your tracking seems to need a little bit of work, but I would say focus your gameplay more on just trying to down survivors and then work off that. Again, you need downs to get them off gens. If you don't get downs, they're going to freely do gens. The hit and run strat, very risky, very tough to do. I wouldn't really, I would experiment a little bit more with like getting downs first is what I'll say. If not, just abandoning the idea altogether. Thank you for submitting. I hope you guys learned a thing or two watching this. If you guys want to submit your own footage, we have a channel in Discord called Gameplay Review Submissions where you guys can go and post a video. Make sure that the video and audio quality is good, and make sure that the game is a loss. I will not accept 4Ks or like a survivor game where you just do the gens and leave. Like I want the game to be a bad game that you can learn something from. So feel free to submit if you guys want, and I go through there and I pick one out like once a week to do. Like the video if you guys enjoyed it. Helps me a lot with the algorithm and all that. Sub to the channel as well, because I'm uploading literally daily. And stop by my Twitch stream sometime. I'm live 6 nights a week from 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. Eastern, so feel free to stop by and say hello. And that's going to be it for me. I hope you guys have a good rest of your night. I'm out of here. I'll see ya. I'll take care. See ya. I'm out of here. I'll see you later. I'll see you later.